It's just hard to get so excited about shit you've seen in the past when you've seen the outcomes.
Right.
You know.
Well, even with the fuck do you call it? Like Occupy Wall Street and all that. Like you had your typical investigations come up, and like you were saying, a handful of people actually get any charges, and then everyone forgets about it because there's some other fucking travesty going on in the world.
Yep. Same shit, new day. That was a risky hit, anyways. Was that last one?
Do what?
You live?
Yeah. You dumbass.
Oops. But it's like these investigations have been going on for how long, anyways.
Right.
If like some super they found something that of action, something would have taken place by now.
Right. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. I'm trying to find the fucking, what do you call it? This stupid fucking thing. Yo, A Shaw. Motherfucking Andrew, Jared, Pierre. Give me 1 second. This fucking thing is tilting the fuck out of me.
What do you think of AA's? It's fucking just the weirdest thing ever, dude.
Yeah, no, that
he donates his shares. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why don't you fix the whole naked short selling thing?
It's just weird. Like, out of everything to do, you're gonna donate shares. Like, what?
Yeah. Not my preferred thing to be done by executives, but sure.
Yeah, I just thought I thought it was weird because he's like, it's my way of giving back. It's like, well,
why don't you just fucking figure out the whole short seller thesis first?
Well, that, and it's like, if your way of giving back, you just fucking made like $42 million. Give some of that back. Why are you fucking giving shares? That makes no sense.
I don't get it. Especially if he's been asking for a dilution, just take the money that you would make and fucking put it into the company.
Yes, exactly. Like, what the fuck? That was just crazy to me. Whatever he was smoking, I wish he would have passed it my way this morning.
Yeah, what up, buddy? Why not wait? Yeah, it's an even better question. What's Randall doing?
Cornette? I don't know what I don't know if he usually gets up this early.
Elon did it, but told no one. Yeah, I actually respect the hell out of Elon for that. I actually I give a lot of money, like when it comes to tipping, and I love actually just handing like $100 bill to like a drive-through worker, and I don't tell anyone. I feel fucking guilty having to make a point of it because I don't do nice things to go and tell people about it. I do nice things because I like doing nice things. I don't know. It's a really weird fucking thing I have going. I feel like people have taken advantage of doing nice things and then like making a YouTube video out of it and then posting it and getting millions of views. Like, it doesn't really feel like anyone is doing it out of authenticity and out of the better good of the world. It's, oh, let me do something nice to get some return on it. It just, I don't know.
Well, like you said, then half the time they get what they gave to that person back in fucking ad revenue. So
exactly,
did you really do anything?
Yeah. And like, I guess it's cool if you're creating like this, in the short term, it's cool if you're making a business that other people would also want to join into for good things, but then that good is anchored to the return. So if those videos stop doing well, then people start not doing good things, or they stop doing good things rather. I don't know. It's just fucking weird. This whole entire fucking generation is fucked. Starting off the fucking morning cynical, my friends. Let's do it. Are you talking about Trey? No. Adam Aaron thing seems like decent.
I thought it was badass when Trey did that, dude.
Oh yeah. Plus
He changed those people's lives, dude. Those people were so jacked.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like that's 2 months worth of rent, or it's get people out of being behind on bills. Like that's massive. Yeah, what up, Sammy boy? How you doing? There you go. Thanks. I imagine. Pretty important to get a close over 20 today. Yeah, the only problem with that is that's a 5 or 6% day, and knowing it's Friday and knowing Max Payne is at 19, I'd be interested to see how that plays out. When the shorts start covering, is it possible for Vortex data to show about all the reported data shorts covered while none of it's written report has discovered? How could we tell? Well, if it take up to T+2 because of settlement times being in the fucking dark times, the medieval ages, as far as technology goes, we're gonna get Kurt in here as well. Let's get this motherfucker in here.
What do you think about that BSTX exchange?
I'm fucking hyped.
Are you really?
Yeah. People underestimate how important settlement times are. Like, you and I talked about those before anything like T0 was even relevant. What up, bitch?
Yo.
How you doing, cocksucker?
Let's go. Give me 1 sec.
Fucking motherfucker. Bigums, give us your...
I can't, dude.
Yeah, you can, bitch.
Do it, bitch.
Lose my hero.
I might get a loot
Bro,
poster. I might just get like a giant, like really shitty pixelated cutout of Lou's face and put it up on my wall as like a 4x4 foot fucking piece.
Dude, no. If you're gonna do that, you gotta get the whole body cut out.
Yeah. Wait, can somebody make me a Luke? Somebody make like an actual image file of Lou, and I'll have a cutout made of it.
It might cost you extra. You know, you got a lot of.
I'm gonna put a hole in it.
Got a lot of surface area to cover on that one. Yo, listen though, like I literally just woke up and I didn't see this shit 9 hours ago when it dropped. And I'm just reading about everything right now. And I think one of the fucking most important things that I've read so far is that the DOJ has a 79 to 94% success rate on anything that they've prosecuted.
No shit.
So if they're starting to ask questions in the right directions, it's just getting pretty serious.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah.
Well, with the block trades thing, I feel like I think they're gonna find that the block trades were used to create false volume to keep days to cover down. Like they would literally just block trade back and forth with as minimal slippage as possible, and that would give the illusion of volume, but that would also make sure that your days to cover doesn't go up.
Well, I think the block trades, in the simplest way that they could use them, is they have an agreement between two parties, and they're just using block trades at a set price, or maybe slightly, different prices that they're not making or losing too much money in between each other,
Right.
just so they could play hot potato with covering
Right.
or FTEs.
That's also, I think, where settlement times come in, because if you put in a short sale in the form of a block trade at 500,000 shares, you also won't have that be realized until, one, that order is completely filled, and or up to 24 hours after that event of being completely filled. So that wouldn't even take place until T+2 because of the way that settlement times work. So you have like at a minimum of 3 days before that gets reported, and on top of that, that's until the order is completely filled. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, John Kramer, how you doing, brother? So something's just fucking, like, we all know that something's really fucking weird here, but I think there's something way more to this than anybody realizes.
Yeah, I mean, it could be for like a multitude of things. Like if they're gonna investigate them, they're gonna get all the things in the basket that they've been doing illegal and catch them on all of them at the same time. I don't really think that they would pick and choose like a certain thing to investigate them on and then run with it. I think they're gonna try to figure out everything that they can prove without a doubt and take them on that.
Right. I was watching a documentary about these two guys that cheated Vegas, and I realized that there is more enforcement to preventing counterfeit fucking casino chips than that of counterfeit shares in the market.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good point.
Like, I can't even think of anything more to say. I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to that point by saying anything more. But really, like, you have this entire nation comprised of publicly traded companies, and their valuations are determined by whoever decides to trade their stock. And then you have this very few select amount of people that can just send everything into disarray on their own whim. And that just trickles throughout everything. It trickles in to the stock, and then related stocks out of sympathy plays, which then trickles into the company's value, which then trickles into how many employees those companies can afford to employ based on their own margins, which then trickles down into families and how much they can afford for their rent and their bills, and, oh, can we put food on the table this year? Like, that is all at the top of that, where everything trickles from, is Wall Street. And they have the most wide open playing field and platform to mess with rules than anyone on earth. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it is kind of like a crazy thing to think about, that someone from the outside, someone who could be almost completely anonymous, can influence, an organization that's across the country
Think about Bill Huang.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, literally had levered up with 10 different institutions, and one of them found out, and at a moment's notice just nuked his entire portfolio. You saw Viacom and the Discovery Network drop by 50% over 2 days. Like, that's the Discovery Channel and one of the major studios for a bunch of television, just cut in half.
Yeah. There goes all your shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just little shit.
I don't know. I don't remember whose dad it was, but it's someone prominent. I feel like it's like
Free Martin Shkreli. Shut the fuck up.
It might be Martin Shkreli. Wow, that's fucking weird. So it might be Martin Shkreli's dad, or who's the guy who put on Firefest? Billy.
Oh fuck, I know who you're talking about.
Billy something.
Armstrong?
Whatever. Yeah, whatever that guy's name is. It's like some dude like that's dad, and the way he had a bunch of money to start doing all this shit in his life early on was because his dad was a predatory takeover guy. And what he would do is he would take over companies by buying up their stock and eventually getting a majority stake in it, firing everyone from the company, whether it's executive or the board, and then he would pretty much sell off all their assets and make money on the sale of those assets to other companies, and then that company would cease to exist. It's a business model strategy. I forgot what it's called.
It sounds like blitzkrieg in finance.
Yeah, it's like it's not a leveraged buyout. It's something
hostile takeover.
It's a hostile takeover, yeah. But then when there's like another word for it because you're performing a hostile takeover just to sell all the assets of the company, and you have no other intention of doing anything but selling the assets.
That's fucked. I think Bigham's. I think actually we talked about that back during the bond theory. Or did Bigham's pass out?
No, sorry, I was talking to my wife.
Remember?
Yeah, they do it with the convertible notes. You keep buying shares, you short their company, bash it with the media so they can't get any more credit other than through you.
Right.
And then you keep buying shares at a low price, and you keep doing convertible notes, and then you take it over so you can take their patents. This is why technology in America has came to a complete standstill. You have all these massive companies, and any time they have a competitor, they're just going to short it, take their stuff, and put all their patents in a vault, and we'll never see them again. That's why we're still running on fucking gasoline.
Huh.
People wonder why competition in the United States has died. Like I said, you can't have monopolies, so what do? You make a corporate empire, they're called, which instead of being a monopoly and owning a giant portion in one sector, you branch out and you own a whole bunch of sectors, and you have a big portion in those. So you have so much power that you say, if you don't do what I want you to do, you're cut off from this part of the business world. Well, they're in every single sector, so you have to do what they want. Like I said, it's a fucking joke, dude. Then they sit there and they put in people in government who they want. Like I said, that's what I'm saying with this Doge thing. Everybody is so excited about it. In the end of the day, you guys don't think the government knows the shit's going on.
Right.
They're not coming in to take down Citadel like everybody thinks. They're coming in to save face. But there's nothing. Powell said it, dude. There's nothing they can do to stop this crash. There's nothing they can do. They have no answers.
Right.
Eventually, you can't tell the American people for months and months and months, we don't know what's going on. We have no idea. They tried to do that with the flash crash.
Right.
So, like I said, at best, these guys are going to be that. The guy's name was Kareem Suradin, something like that went to jail for 2008. These are going to be your next 6 of them. And then what's going to happen to those companies? Citadel's going to get slapped with their violation number 57. They'll get another consent waiver, fucking acceptance of waiver, whatever, and fucking boom, another fine. There you go. They'll move on.
Yeah, it seems like they're engineering the card to reassure the public, like, oh, we knew about this, we were on top of it, and then they'll put up some poster child of whoever fucked all this up as the culprit or whatever.
Just imagine if suddenly a market, like I said, this market's going to crash. Imagine if a crash happened again, and all of a sudden, for the second time in a row now, the government's like, because when 2008 happened, they had no answers. That's why everyone got furious. Imagine if they came out again and were like, oh, we have no answer on how it happened again.
Right.
And then it turns out for the second time when everybody starts digging, it was the banks again writing ISDA and all this crap for the second time.
Right.
They didn't bail it out. They didn't fix 2008. They just dug it 5,000 times deeper.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I figured out what the term was. It's called doing a corporate raid and then doing an asset strip.
Huh.
And it's not illegal.
What? What?
Yeah. I still don't know who this guy's dad is, though. Like, I wish I remembered where I heard that from, but it might be Martin Shkreli.
Well, he did that with some diabetes medication.
I have
no,
diabetes.
he didn't. What's fucked up is he actually didn't really do anything terrible. The insurance companies were paying the premium on it. The patients, those who were actually consuming the medication, weren't affected.
Yeah, and he said that if you need this medication and you don't have insurance and you can't pay for it yourself, contact our company and we'll give it to you for free.
Right.
So it was literally just the insurance companies being pissed off and trying to put him in jail.
Well, I think that's what happens when you do something like that, where you're showing that Wall Street is, or any corporate entity is vulnerable. Like when you expose that chink in their armor, they will make an example of you. And I'm actually low-key kind of afraid of that for everyone in the community. Like, when you expose something like this, you know, at some point there will be someone that's made an example of, and you just fucking pray to God that's not you.
Saying I better stop doing what I'm doing, or what?
Ah!
Joke's on them. I like being the example.
No, it's fucked up, man.
All right. Hey, listen, I gotta get out of bed because I'm literally in bed talking to you guys. Gotta go make some coffee,
keep talking
take
to
a
me
shit.
in bed. Come on, keep talking to me while you're in bed.
And then I gotta write up this 10K, boy.
Hey.
Kirk, before you go, what do you think was in that warehouse that Ken burned?
I am live, by the way, Kurt. Just want to let you know.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, it could be a multitude of things. I know companies a company I used to work for, they had a document retention policy back in the day. It's not so popular anymore simply because most of the things that are being circulated in a company are all digital now. So there's only a digital document retention policy. But, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, sure, people were still printing things out and invoices were still being mailed, purchase orders were still being, you know, printed out and sent to companies, things like that. So there was a lot of paper documents still being thrown around, and maybe even like some contracts still being physically signed. So the rule for most companies is you have to retain this documentation for 7 years, and then after 7 years you can dispose of it. So there's a possibility that there totally could have been some shit in there, but more likely, I have a feeling it's just like they don't even know what the fuck was in there, so they were just like, all right, just burn it down anyway, because if there is a possibility that something in there could fuck us and we don't even know it's there, it's worth it for us to burn it down. Like, it could be as simple as that.
No, that's exactly what I thought, dude. I think they have I think they have ISDA contracts in there, old master agreements, because those weren't done digitally back in the day. And I think they were looking like exactly like you said. They had old ass paper shit back in the day, and they're like, "Oh man, one of those agreements might have fucked us," or a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, and dude, like, you think they're gonna send someone to go over there and look through a fucking warehouse of boxes to try to find those? Like, no, it's just way faster just to burn everything down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if they're being investigated. They're not taking that chance.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Thanks for the invite, boys. Definitely a hype morning. Nice way to wake up.
Fuck you, Kurt.
Peace out.
Later, man.
Yeah, it's crazy how everything's so connected, man. I guarantee you it was those agreements in that fire for sure.
It's just so fucked. Like, they're constantly hedging with information.
Well, it's like, and then you saw that thing Randall put up with the Harvard study that all these F-13, the data on all those are wrong. So it's like, see, this is the problem.
Yeah.
It's like that's the problem, dude. Across every data we see, no matter what, is incorrect. And it's like even okay, it's like people, like this is what people they see Stonko tracker, and then they go nuts because they'll say there'll be 1 million shares left, and all of a sudden there's 10 million shares left. They're like, where'd those go? But if you have a Bloomberg terminal, you can see that there's at that time there'll be like 23 million shares available, of AMC. But we only see what they look at. Well, all they see is interactive brokers. So all that's happening is from those 23 million, another 8 million got available to interactive brokers.
Right.
But people think that they're making creative stuff, and it's like that's a lot of the problem is we don't see data until they want us to see fucking data.
Right, and that's where settlement times come in. That's what I've been getting at is like they're snapshots of reality, and you don't get to use that information until it gets to you, but everything's delayed by 2 weeks. Like FTDs delayed by 2 weeks. Like those are on a monthly cycle technically.
Got the T35 for the rule on fucking 204, except fucking dumb.
Yeah. So like, how does that?
I mean, I like where they're going with the new exchange, but the new exchange is just set up too fucked up to where the BSTX is just fucked.
Well, it's a step forward. At least you can say that.
It's a step forward, but it's still like it's a step forward with the same bad actors getting in place before on the ground floor to where they are, like I said, they evolve. What did Citadel do? They just instead go, all right, fuck it, we'll just be an owner of the exchange. We're not the market maker.
That's how they always stay ahead. They have their money in everything. They have their money in everything.
I know, it's a fucking joke, dude. it's a complete joke, dude. On one of my videos, I'm gonna show exactly how a market should work and how we could fix our market in 4 steps. Dude.
But I don't want to. I don't want to fix the market.
No, fuck no. It's how the big guys win. It's how they steal. They'll always have to steal. It's crazy greed, dude. Like it's like think about this: the way a market should be set up. Instead of a market maker, what's the purpose of a market maker? To gain liquidity where there's no liquidity. Basically, they're just filling the fucking order for us. Well, at this point in time in life, you're telling me the SEC or some centralized agency where it's governed by like a whole bunch of agencies, they couldn't have that technology to fill the fucking liquidity?
Well, you know what's even worse is that the private participants, whether that's institutions, market makers, whoever, they have secured all of the tech innovation. Like, regulators can't even figure out what's going on because they don't have any of those minds.
Yeah.
They don't
That's
have
my
any
point.
Yeah.
Like these guys got the satellites. They got more technology than anything. So it's like that's my point. If we should be able to take the technology these guys have. They've already done it for you.
Mm-hmm.
They should be able to go in there, take these satellites, do all that shit, make a centralized location of like an SEC. Everything runs through this.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's clear through this. You have like 5 or 10 governing agencies all watching it. Instant settlement time. You work in data, I work in data.
Yeah.
You can see by how fast that they're able to intercept a fucking order and front run that order.
Mm-hmm.
They can settle a fucking trade like if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like I said, to make a market work right is so easy, but like you said, the only reason you wouldn't do that, why would they want a level playing field?
Right. Well, there always has to be someone better, quote unquote. But
yeah, money always needs to have special access. They always got to have special fucking. Oh, we need level data too. We need this. We need that.
Right.
No, it's like the fuck. The market was created for everybody to be able to build wealth and have an equal share. It was supposed to be if you had a good company and the flow got bought, the market decided the price, not fucking 3 or 4 institutions decided the price.
Right. Well, I mean, Tesla's your, prime example of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, dude. Tesla's a perfect example. Like I said, it's just fucking stupid, dude. How do you make market how do you make money in the market? You find out where the big boys are. You make sure your trades align with them quick. Get your little chunk. Get the fuck out.
Right. Well, it's even just look at fucking the yield curve. It's just everything is so fucked. Everything inflation is way bigger of a problem than most people realize because of how much it trickles into everything. Even like the people in our sphere, I don't think are aware of how fucked up inflation is destroying everything. Like everything is connected. Like you can either trip acid or you can look into this and you'll realize how everything's connected. It curtails everywhere. Like the value, like someone asked me the other day, they were like, how do I hedge? How would you recommend I hedge for, the coming correction whenever it happens? Should I do gold? Should I do fucking Bitcoin? And I told him I don't even know, because during the .com bubble, that was equities that were a victim of toxicity. In 2008, it was real estate that was a part of that was your toxic asset. You had these fucking subprime mortgage-backed securities that were bullshit. Now the problem is the entire value of the US dollar is in question. It doesn't matter what you pick to hedge with, whether it's real estate or fucking silver, gold, I don't know, diamond, fucking Dogecoin. I don't give a shit, because this is your problem. The things that give these items value is the dollar. The problem is that the dollar is in question now. So the thing that you're labeling and valuing is contingent upon the dollar. But the dollar doesn't even know its value. So how can you go and buy things that have their value from the dollar and expect that to be a hedge? You know what I mean? Never mind. Bigham's got suicided. Shut your fucking mouth. It's so sad that you have your name Born on a Bayou, because that's a great song and you're a fucking shitty person. Yeah, Jack, how you doing, man? Oh, wasn't talking to you, fam. Oops. My bad. Sorta.
Let me I kind of want to go off what you were just talking about there, though.
Yeah.
So you're talking about like the value of the dollar, not knowing everything. This is not This is not financial advice, but I'm going to give you guys financial advice in a sense here. All right, so the American dollar it's a fiat currency, like you said. So the value basically it derives off what the government makes it.
Right.
Well, eventually this is going to, like you said, everything's going to crash. And this is why I say get into like precious metals and things like that.
But even that,
gold.
I don't know, because that gets its value from the dollar.
No, you got to think. What they're going to end up doing is going, all right, this fiat currency, if you look at fiat currencies, they fail. When they fail hard. They become pretty much worthless.
Oh, yeah. Well, we left the gold standard in the fucking 70s.
Exactly. And that's what they're going to have to get back to, something of that nature.
But they can't. You know who owns all the gold? China.
Yeah, but when China's like on the brink of collapse too, so when they fucking collapse,
I could see. Well, then you have BlackRock, who's acting as like this intermediary between China's real estate market and the U.S. equities market. BlackRock has 1% of their entire portfolio allocated to Chinese real estate.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know BlackRock's like a global power at this fucking point.
Yeah, Fink has it all figured out, dude. Like.
This is what I've been saying, man. We're becoming a corporate republic. We're towards that fucking path, and it's scary.
Well, what's even scarier is that the risk of not only real estate, not only the equities fuck up that we're dealing with, currency valuations, the risk in all three of these major fuck ups that we don't know when are going to explode, but we know they will, has been spread across everything. Everything.
Exactly.
BlackRock. Go ahead.
And what's even worse, because like you were saying too, so like the 2008, was backed by this security, was backed by this. Well, the problem with this fucking crash is, like back in the day, you had the house, like you're saying, they got them watered down to where they had different tiers. Well, you have so many synthetics now in the stock market, and so many of those synthetics now moved over into the swap market. So many of these houses that defaulted, all these loans and stuff, interest rate payments. They said 70% of the derivatives market of that 1.6 quintillion is interest rate. So that means people are defaulting on these loans. They're taking them again, repackaging them, selling them in the derivatives, watering them down again. They're paying creditors, just like in The Big Short, to not put those down. Well, how many times have these dominoes, like in The Big Short, there's only 3.
Yeah.
Now imagine about 65, 70 of those dominoes, 1,000 of those dominoes being watered down.
Yeah.
Now how do you recover?
Yeah. It honestly looks like they don't want it to. Like, this is the
I don't think
globalist fucking elite fucking...
They just can't. They know that... See, this is why I keep saying the Great Reset, dude. This is the literally only option. You have
hold
people...
on. Sorry, Astra, this time you're talking horse shit. A good hedge will increase percentage-wise faster than fiat, then you'll be increasing your net worth. I don't even think that made sense. Please elaborate.
Wait, what do you say?
Sorry, Astra, this time you're talking horse shit. A good hedge will increase percentage-wise faster than fiat, then you'll be increasing your net worth.
A good hedge on what? The market crashing?
Are you okay?
That guy's on some drugs, bro.
That literally didn't make sense.
Trevor, I agree. Everyone just go buy Pokemon cards. Some guy just broke into a GameStop or something, stole like 300,000 in Pokemon cards.
That's fucking hilarious. Ask Bigums if he's shorting the market for the long term. Good luck doing that, because fucking Jay Powell is being paid a salary to make sure it doesn't fall apart.
Oh, so like I said, with that reset though, this is the fucking problem, dude. This is the only thing that happens. You have so many billionaires in the world that have, like I said, there's only so much money in the world. You have too many billionaires at this point. And on top of that, all these guys have put all their money into their corporations, which have taken that money and funneled it out of the country. You continuously tax your middle class. The billions and billions that these guys have taken. You've destroyed your middle class. You have a very small middle class now, a massive fucking poor class. And like I said, you can only do that for so long. What are they going to do when suddenly we figure out everything we're doing is to make them richer, and we stop fucking working? We stop, like I said, we turn into a Canada situation, and then we end up going, all right, the problem is that they've become so fucking powerful, dude, that it's like, all right, what can they do? They either destroy the dollar, keep raising inflation, or they tell these billionaires, you guys got to give some of this money back. That's never going to fucking happen.
No.
So they either have to, eventually, we're all going to fucking revolt because we're not going to have anything. There's no, this
but
is
then
why
look at who would be revolting, dude. It's everybody just fucking stuck to their phones and who get butthurt over the slightest of inconveniences. Like, everyone's becoming soft and emasculated and fucking just too afraid to do anything because they're afraid of not having instant gratification.
Oh, yeah, and this is why I said that fucking quote, dude, on my live the other day. There's 2 ways to rule and enslave a nation. One is debt and the other is sword. You see the sword in your face, so they got smarter. They moved it over to debt. Well, their sword for us is our cell phones, because what are you doing? You're staring at your cell phone all day. You're playing a video game all day. You're watching someone's YouTube all day. And then when they show you these things of the stuff that's actually happened to you, what happens? No one does anything.
No, it's fucking, it really, like, have you heard of the dead internet theory?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so if I remember this correctly, somebody double check me on this. It's basically this theory that like 90% of all of the online activity that you see are bot accounts, and it's like this giant wave of socio inertia. So it's not really people talking, it's robots, and it creates the illusion of whatever hearsay is. And if you know a little bit about sociology, then you'll understand how hive mind thinking comes about and some of the trickling effects from it. So like the fear factor, full pun intended, of like COVID, and now I just put the stream on a watch list. Terrorism, global conflict, tensions between Russia and China or the United States, like, people follow the narratives of it rather than the facts more so than ever. And so the effect of that is when most people are staring at their phones for information, and, you know, the way their day is going to go based on how many likes they got or if they got any likes, and like everything that gives someone their own sense of self-esteem is now found on a fucking screen instead of real life. And now if you can make most people believe that, then you contrive a bunch of fake social dialogue and events, and before you know it, you now can control people's minds, literally, based on whatever you want the botnet to do, whatever you want the botnet to say. And now it's, you know, oh, did you see all the talk about Russia? Did you see all the talk about COVID? And oh, holy lordy, oh, it's happening, World War III. And it's really just a couple people. Only a couple real people. It's not even fucking real. It's just thousands and thousands and thousands of fake fucking accounts talking about the same thing. And you look at what we're in now. Like, go on Twitter for AMC or GameStop, and like 90% of it is just fucking robot accounts saying the same thing. It really doesn't mean anything. Like,
well, yeah, like you said, dude, they're staring at their phone looking for information, and guess who controls the media information on your phone?
Yeah.
Them. So you see what they want you to see.
Yeah. And you know, the majority of your time is spent on your phone. Well, not you, but most people. Most of it's on their phone. And in fact, everyone's, you know, 353 people are doing it right now on the stream. But like, we digest information from our screens, and then we take it to our outside lives instead of the other way around. That there's been a huge shift in that distribution there. It used to be, you know, you participated more in real life and then you posted to social media about it. But now, more so than ever, it's what you see on social media bleeds into your outside life, your real life. And the majority of what you're carrying to your real life isn't even real.
Yeah, it's just crazy. That's why people call it the Matrix, dude.
Yeah, like, it's fucked. It's all so fucked.
Well, yeah, like I said, man, you got literally corporations that have more power, more money, more connections at their fingertips than nations.
Yeah.
Think about how scary that is.
Well, it's controlling thinking. It's 1984 by Orwell all over again.
Exactly.
I think in the very near future, you're going to see something fall apart catastrophically, whether it's the economy or some, God forbid, but it's on the table, some event based out of warfare, terroristic or not. It might just be straight up warfare. Who knows? It could be something leaked by politicians, or about politicians rather, that make everyone realize we can't trust government anymore. That
you're starting to see that now, man. Just think of what we've done over the last year, and now all these collapses you're starting to see around the world.
Oh yeah,
it's starting to already happen.
But I think that people as a whole are going to realize that, like, everything around us sucks. Nothing's built to last anymore. Conversations are contrived. Everything we talk about is barely real. It's real for a day, and then we forget about it.
Controlled by
exactly.
The elite.
And on top of that, like, dude, ask yourself this. How can every nation and basically everyone in those nations be in debt, but like 1%? How can every nation in the world be in debt? That means money, it's all been spent. It's all gone. It's not even real. What we got is just like credits in our account, dude. It's not what you grew up believing.
Right.
That American dream and that America we learned about in high school, middle school.
Grandparents would buy their grandchildren bonds for their birthday. And now if you did that, you'd be losing money on it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's like, think of how fucked up this is. When our grandparents are growing up, they had way less technology than us, but their lives were easier. They had the ability to have one person work, the other stay home, watch the kids, and they could save for a life, save for a house, still do that. Right. Our technology's gotten better.
That was back when the gold standard existed.
Exactly. And then we went to all this fiat money, and all of a sudden went to trust me, bro, everywhere.
Right. Wasn't it Nixon who took us off of that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Nixon. And then all of a sudden, and then what's he do right after? He makes the plunge team. Good job. Because his fucking, like I said, dude, it's all of a sudden we went to trust me, bro.
So
The elites will never steal. We got nothing but good people in.
Right. So
Only rich people are good. No, rich people are usually greedy fucks, and that's why they're rich.
Right. So I don't think I've talked about this on the channel yet, and it's been enough time that's passed that I think I can. I will not reveal the identity of this person, but I was talking with an ex-investment banker not too long ago about what he thinks of the whole market, and I kind of gave him the briefing on AMC and GameStop situation, and the fractal theory and some of the cycles I've parsed, and we talked about all sorts of shit. One of the things we talked about though was how markets are being intervened with more than ever, and how that will inevitably lead to some catastrophe, because markets are supposed to be a reflection of those who are within them, right? If Americans comprise an economy, then the economy should simply be like an amplifier, with the signal being those who are performing transactions inside of that signal. But the moment you start to interfere with that amplifier, it's no longer the signal that's being transmitted. And if everyone else is listening to that amplifier to change what they're playing, if we're speaking in terms of music, then you've changed the key of the song that everyone else with their own economies are playing with to that of a tune that isn't what it actually is. So now everyone's reacting and playing along to the American economy's fucking guitar with this false sound. The plunge protection team should not exist. I don't care how bad things fuck up. You have to let them fuck up. You want to know why forest fires happen?
Hey, you want to do something real quick before you go? Go on your Google, show your people this. Type in SDR stock market real quick. Tell me what the fuck that is. While you're talking about the plunge protection team, this is fake money around the world that they can use. I'll let you look at it.
What is it?
Special some hold on.
So like
special drawing rights. Google special drawing rights.
Drawing?
Drawing. DRAWING.
Supplementary foreign exchange reserve. So it's like plunge protection for currencies. That's fucking beautiful.
But it's a worldwide. Look at it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
If this is plunge protection.
I wonder if this is the elite's currency.
Yep. This is the other thing I've been showing people. You got this fake fucking here. If anyone needs some fake money or needs some fake bullshit, just come over here. We got special drawing rights.
That's incredible. Yeah. So
like I said, everything's fake, dude.
Yeah. So like when you modify or tinker or intervene with what is supposed to be happening, you will have fuck ups be created from that. Rather than letting things fuck up now, you're injecting bullshit to prevent that fuck up then, which just amplifies the fuck up that's coming later down the line. So the reason why forest fires are a good thing, right? Where you have bunnies and birds and cute little fucking ferrets or whatever the fuck die an agonizing fucking melting death in flame and agony. You want to know why it's a good thing? It's because it means that there can be a new environment, a new ecosystem, a new set of food chains and eco intricacies. That has to happen. Otherwise, the system itself will find itself within decadence because of an imbalance in one part of the food chain, or it becomes too, what do you call it? There's too much like vegetation, whatever it is. You have to have forest fires because that means that something new can come along, and that is the ebb and flow of life. It's like if people never died, then you would have this very select, few, concentrated amount of people who would just keep doing their own thing, and no one would be able to do anything about it because they don't fucking die. So you need things like that to happen everywhere. You have to. That's what clears the way for the new. Lets everything reset.
And this is what's funny is I said all this in my stream, and people are like, so you're a socialist. And I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. These guys have stolen everything. They're to the point where they're so fucking big that competition America was built on. All that we were built on is gone.
There's no more competition. That's a great point. There's no need for competition if you know that there's nothing to compete with because you know that you'll never lose.
Yeah, you can just, like we said, we went over right away in the beginning. You can just steal their company, steal their patents, and bury them in a vault.
Right. Like one of the actually, it's funny.
And it's legal. It's
Yeah.
legal.
One of the what do you call it? I'll send you the video. I think you'd like it. The documentary that broke down how some people cheated Vegas. And one of the gimmicks was that there was a mob boss who had money owed to him by somebody who was actually a dealer at a table. So what they did is they played this really exotic form of Chinese poker that had a lot of cards in it. And if you had a deal or a hand that was dealt that was a tie, the dealer would show it to you. You'd have like 4 or 5 different cards. The dealer would have 4 or 5 different cards. And the dealer would simply do what's called a quick take, I think, or a quick show. And they would basically show his cards, the player's cards, and then the dealer would point out, like, here's where they match, take the hand immediately, and then it was a tie. So what would happen is this guy who was the mob boss would come in on a Sunday, every Sunday, and he'd keep winning and winning and winning and winning. Every Sunday he'd win. And so the staff at this casino saw this, and they reviewed the tape, and they realized that the dealer was actually doing this trick where he was constantly letting the guy never lose, because that was the debt that was being paid. Was, all right, you owe me a ton of money, you don't have it, so what we'll do instead is, well, you're the dealer at a casino, so how about you don't let me lose ever? I just make money. Even when I lose, I'm still winning because I'm not losing money. That's basically what you got going on here. You never lose, because if you do, as one of these elites or whatever the fuck, then you just wash the hand. It never happened. It never happened. We'll just remove it from the tape. Oh, we'll burn a building down. Oh, we'll open an SPV, a special purpose vehicle, as a company or a shell company, and then write off the losses and I don't know, contain them somewhere else. We'll compartmentalize our losses, put it over on this balance sheet. And like it never comes to fruition. It never actually acts on the master sheet because it never existed in that fucking snapshot of reality. Who would have guessed? Or you get bailed out, yeah. So even when you're losing, you're still winning.
Dude. One of these bankers I was reading, one of my favorite quotes he said is, they asked him about money and all that, and he's like, money's good and everything, but credit's better. When you have money, it's in your hand, it's in your possession, because that means you're spending your own money. When you're spending credit, that means you're spending somebody else's.
Yep. And that's what's fucked up about short sales, is that it doesn't even matter what the flavor of it is. It doesn't matter if you're even doing it to gain alpha. It's the fact that you can summon money on demand.
Yeah.
Like literally, you can summon money on demand. So if you do have a trade that goes wrong, like let's say one of your long positions just gets nuked, just commit a short sale somewhere else.
Yeah, there's so many ways to hedge for it. Buy some bonds, because stocks and bonds are negatively correlated.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally, borrow money from Goldman, buy $10 million in fucking treasury notes. Now you have at least a 3% net return every month. So you're hedging against a 3%. As long as you're making 3%, or you're not losing more than 3%, you're still in the green. But there's so many different ways that you can hedge that. There's so many different ways that you can come up with these bullshit transactions, these bullshit fucking balance sheet items that ultimately don't yield anything, but the people who check your balance sheet are satisfied.
and you know who made all those? The central bank regime that I talked about. Which the bankers, the DTC, the guys stealing from everyone.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right.
So it's such a joke, dude. These guys this whole market is a fucking joke, dude. It's literally... It's been what's been propping up them no matter what. If they ever lost money in the market, if they ever took a penny loss in the world in any way, shape, or form, they just dipped into the market and stole it. Right back and then some.
Right.
But like I said, man, you can't have people do this for so long, because eventually you kill your middle class. And then that's where we're at. We're at the point where you're going to kill your middle class, to where these rich people, who are they going to steal from? Well, just each other. Well, then at that point, if rich people are losing money, guess what? Rules are going to start changing.
Right. Well, there always has to be a bag holder. There always has to be.
Yeah, but
how
when
the
that
world
bag
works.
there's rich people at this point, it's good. That's when you're going to start seeing major fucking overhauls.
Yeah.
I mean, think of how fucked up. Think of how fucked up it is that when what bank was that? J.P. Morgan. They have that new system where they sit there and track sediment and make it
Oh,
to
yeah,
where
the retail
you guys
ends.
can't even, like you said, you can't even lose now anymore. They make it to J.P. Morgan makes it to where you can't lose. You can now have market maker
Well,
information.
I made a video about that. You know what's the worst problem about that is they're staging an actual fuck up, like an actual market catastrophe. For any musicians out there, it's like if the bassist was trying to play in the pocket of the drummer, but the drummer was trying to play in the pocket of the bassist. They're both lagging behind each other.
Astro, they
There's
need
ultimately
the
no
proverbial
pocket from
fire
that.
big enough to wipe everything
So-
out so badly that when they rebuild they have absolute control when rebuilding their global ecosystem.
Yeah, you're right.
This is all planned, my
Yeah,
friend.
but they're getting the market maker information in the back end, so they are.
Everybody's following each other. Everyone's following each other. Like,
Yeah, but that just follows. That gives them information to retail data
doesn't
that
even-
they didn't have.
but it doesn't matter because if retail fucks up, then that means that institutions fuck up. And if
Yeah, but
everybody
all it is
fucks
it's
up-
just a backup plan. It's just a backup plan to be like, all right, in case you guys have one of these stocks and suddenly we're talking about going into that one, you can get out quick.
Well, not even that. Like, you have to consider like the flash crash rules, if you will. Like, what allowed for that to happen? Well, you had concentration, you had leverage, and then you had a lack of foresight into market conditions. It was decadence across the board. The problem that really sticks out is the concentration part, because not only is retail loading into something, but so are institutions. But retail are following institutions, and institutions are following retail. So now you have a double whammy. If everybody's following each other, then there is nothing to follow anymore. You're just creating a singularity of fuck up. Like, it doesn't yield anything. Everybody, like, if I'm following you and you're following me, like physically, right? Think about us just walking in a circle. Maybe we're 10 feet apart. I'm walking in your footsteps, you're walking in mine. Eventually, as one of us starts to deviate just a little bit inward, then the person following will also do that. And enough time goes by, and then another person steps slightly more in. Everybody keeps going. Everybody keeps going. Someone steps in a little bit more and a little bit more. And now the circle is converging because you have a lesser perimeter, because that's how circumference works. So before you know it, everyone just starts fucking bombarding each other. They're walking into each other. Shoulders are getting hit. People are falling. People are stumbling. And before you know it, people start walking on top of each other. And then before you know it, after that, everything fucking blows up. That's what happens, but with money. If I'm following you and you're following me, eventually there is nothing left to scrape. And that's where catastrophes happen. That's what happens.
But that's where they get away with the bullshit with the fucking longer settlement time.
Yeah.
It gives them makes it so that,
Because we're walking in their footsteps from 2 weeks ago. They already left.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's a little different, because they got that settlement time to catch everybody
Snake
up.
eating itself,
in the
yeah.
circle.
And that's across the board. That is across the board. I mean, it's even in society. Like, people copy each other's personalities, but the person that they're copying from was copying someone else who was also just lacking in self-content. And before you know it, everyone's trying to be someone else. And then you look around you and everyone looks the same. Everyone says the same shit. Everyone fucking does the same thing. That's why. It's a lack of uniqueness, a lack of authenticity, a lack of original thought. And it's happening everywhere. It's in politics. It's in art. It's in markets. It's in fucking society. And eventually it's all going to blow up because no one wants to copy someone else, because they realize that copying someone else sucks dick, or copying someone else's portfolio strategy sucks dick.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, they've
Bifurcation.
taken
I
over
love that. Thank
technology. They've killed technology. They've killed competition. We're still playing the same shit we've been playing fucking 8 years ago. Eventually, the thing is they're not counting on is these fucking video gamers. Everyone plays the same game. It's COD. It's fucking this. It's the same game, reworked, remapped, same shit. People that play 2K, that's it. You got 2K, there's no other video games, but there's no monopolies. You got Madden, but there's no other monopolies. But if you want to make a football game or a basketball game, you can do it. You just can't use real players or teams.
Yeah,
So
all right. What's the fucking fun in that?
Exactly. Eventually, people are going to look at it and go, okay, why do these 5 people, these 5, 6, 7 companies control every fucking thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, dude, this shit's going to, people have to wake up. This reset has to come. Because, like I said, there's no fucking, these 6 people, they've taken everything from the 99%. Eventually, there could be nothing less for us to grab.
Well, it's 99% who become the bag holders, and then you rinse and repeat.
It's just a joke, dude.
Like, you know, like I think the 60s and maybe the 80s being the cutoff point were when you had like the peak of everything, and in terms of like art and role models almost. Back in the 60s and 80s, you had JFK, you had MLK, you had fucking Malcolm X, you had Ronald Reagan, you had the Beatles, you had the Rolling Stones, you had George Carlin, you had Danny Kaye. Like all these people who actually were worth a damn. Like they were fighting for something that was truly brilliant, that was making the world a better place, whether that was through politics or comedy or music or civil rights. Like there were people who were actively doing something for the better good, and they made their identities with that. Some of them got schwacked in the process, which is really fucked up. That's what happens when you try doing good in the world. But nonetheless, you had those people to look up to. But nowadays, it's like the music sucks. The politics sucks. The art sucks. The comedy. You got some people who are keeping it alive. Dave Chappelle, fucking Bill Burr, all those guys.
Dane Cook's still a legend, dude.
Dane Cook, yeah. But like, everything is just regurgitated. Everything is so perfect because it's made on a machine. Everything's so perfect because there's statistical analysis of what rhetoric or what fucking propaganda or whatever it is, whatever campaign speech is going to work well. We got stats and focus groups and fucking grid snapped music, and it all sucks dick. And
think of inventors.
Joey fucking Diaz! Yeah, exactly. Stay black.
Think of inventors back in the day, dude. Like you said, man, inventors used to invent shit to help humanity, not to fucking make a quick buck. They didn't even care. That was like an afterthought.
Exactly.
Look at Nikola. Fucking dude, dude. Like I said, this shit's so
the
crazy
Wright
now.
brothers. Yeah.
It's like nowadays is if all they worry about instead of inventing things to make stuff better. Like think about it, our technology is so much better, but how much have we really put into the like Earth, the environment? Imagine
humanity.
if we gave a fuck. If we gave a fuck about the environment in any way, dude, think about how much better this fucking whole environment world could be. Climate change, all this shit, but we don't care. All that matters is this: how can I get a little extra dollars and hide it? One of the things that I show people in my channel on the debt, they spend more a day in what is called overnight index swaps. This is the government. They spend trillions of dollars a day on these overnight index swaps. And what these do is basically hide the fact that our money is worthless. We're spending more money a day in the world than to hide the fact that we're broke than to fix
that's why the repo
problem.
exists. That's why the reverse repo
Exactly.
exists. They're losing. They have so much money. They're losing money that they have to take it off their balance sheet every night.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's so fucked up, dude. And eventually,
Can't
like
even
I
get
said,
infrastructure
we're
done.
wake
Yeah.
enough people up to where it's like, dude, like I said, there's going to be no choice because these guys that have everything. Think about it. How are you going to fix this economy? The only way to do it is all these guys that have been funneling, all these guys that are fucking $180 million, trillions of dollars in their fucking hedge funds, family offices. They need to give it back.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, so they'll just print it instead.
So they either print more instead, otherwise, like I said, we'll eventually figure it out. A civil war type thing or something of that nature of a reset is going to have to happen. Or the dollar is going to become worthless. And like I said, now go get gold because we're going to have to make a new dollar. We're going to have to make a new something that is backed by something.
I think they forget about what the last iteration had in terms of debt. Yeah.
Exactly. There has to be a reset of some kind. That there are to prove my point. They're already talking about that with the student loans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Debt forgiveness because they're looking at this like, you guys, this is so fucked up. We either need to literally look at the world and go, everyone's debt is forgiven, or you either need to suddenly print out trillions of dollars to give it to your middle and lower class to regain your middle class because it's gone.
Yeah.
You've stolen trillions of it. It's gone.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You can think about this. If you have the poor people and the middle class right now,
We're
which is
fucking
depleted,
all poor.
the only people that are putting money in circulation back into your economy,
Right.
your economy will fail because it's not making them much. enough. The people that should be putting it back into the economy, the billionaires, they're hoarding it all. They're not putting it in the economy. They're actually taking more money out of the economy. They're taking more money out of the economy because they're taking taxes away. So now they're also taking from your middle class. So now what the fuck are you gonna do? You realize you're killing your country. This is what I keep telling everyone: get the fuck out of these ISDA banks. Guess the first things that's gonna collapse is ISDA banks. If you have more than 250,000, that's gone. It's like go to a credit union, a local mom and pop bank that won't collapse. We can make this. You guys, a collapse is happening. There's nothing they can do to stop it. Might not be this year, might not be next year, but it will happen. And when it happens, we can at least do it these certain steps to make it so it's not as catastrophic for us. I don't give a shit if it's catastrophic for the 1%.
There's a hedge for it. Yeah, put your money in a fucking credit union.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. Who cares if it's catastrophic for the 1%? All of us can protect ourselves by putting it in smart places. So when it does happen, like I said, good. Now we're back on an even playing field.
Yeah. 4-year degree to go in debt for computers, but I can get a cert in 4 hours and get the same job. Yeah, that's basically what I did. I fucking dropped out of high school, didn't go to college, and became fucking lead developer / project manager / DevOps / full stack / fucking, I don't know, insert job title here. I was lucky. I was really lucky to do that when I was that age.
I mean, dude, I got into coding. I didn't have my degree or anything either. I got into a SQL development from my cousin, and that's the thing. Like I said, this whole country, and that's the problem. Me and my buddy went for the same job. He had the degree and everything. I got it because my cousin worked there.
Oh.
No, I had no experience. And the funniest part about it is he had experience in an IT department at a bank, and they hired me over this guy because I knew my cousin. And he was like, "Oh yeah, he could do it." Blah blah blah. And that's the other problem. It's just like the whole world, dude. It's stock market, everything. It's who you know, backdoor handshakes. It's not what you know, but they tell us, "Hey, you got to go get these degrees. You got to go get this." When in reality, it's if you actually knew somebody at the company, that matters more than that 4-year $80,000 you just put into it.
Right.
It's a joke, dude.
Yeah, it's...
They keep in schools, middle schools, high schools, they keep teaching the United States is the old ways when we were in our glory days. This is how it is. This is how it is. When in reality, no, that's how it was 40 fucking years ago, and you've stolen that.
Right.
But you got to keep the charade up. You got to keep the same textbooks, the same shit going on. It's like we have the same textbooks from like when my parents fucking, you know what I mean? When they were in school, but you just put a new cover on it.
Yeah, no, it's just all fucked. It's all fucked.
Man, we're like it's modern day in slavery by debt, but you just don't see the sword, so you don't feel it as much as you would, you know. I don't want to say that word because obviously that's a horrible word, and they had it way worse than what we have. I'm not comparing it to that situation, but it's like I said, the modern day type where you have no choice but to work you have 2-3 jobs. You have to do it just to pay these bills, just to keep the system going. It's all about keeping the system going, which is funneling all money in every possible fathomable way to the upper class.
Right. No,
I mean, think about this, dude. Back in the day, when like I said, they could put money in a bank account and that money would gain interest. That you made enough interest to actually build wealth. Now you don't make enough interest in the bank. They give you 1%, 2%, but you go to that same bank and they'll charge you 10%, 15% on every loan you get from them. So you cannot possibly. Everything's meant to. You can't. You're gonna work till you're 70, 75, 80, and like. People that, you know, you want to move out and live with your parents? Well, you're going to do that when you're 30. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fucking...
Meanwhile, why do we have to do that? So these guys that have 7 fucking yachts, like I said, I don't give a shit. This is why people call me a socialist. Fuck it. Whatever, if that's what makes me a socialist. Elon Musk, anyone in the fucking world, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, I don't give a fuck. No one's done so much for the humanity that they need to have $180 fucking billion, which is what percent of the entire national wealth.
Right.
No one's contributed that fucking much where you need to have these guys that have fucking hundreds of billions. Yeah, because they changed the world so much, right? Their parents stole, their grandparents stole. They made one fucking little company. They made like I said, it's just a fucking joke, dude.
Yeah, no, it's
Not
it's
saying
just
we
a
need to
fucking
cap.
shame. It's just a shame.
Yeah, it's like I'm not saying we need to cap what people have, but like I said, it's at the point where everyone says don't cap what we have, but yet these businesses have such power they cap what we can make. They
It,
cap what our businesses can make. They cap if you can become a corporation or not because they can short sell you and they pick and choose what we make. And that's a fucking. But they tell me I'm wrong. We live in a socialist society, but the problem is the fucking rich control and they cap what the 99 fucking percent control.
yeah, like I'm not really into the economic politics of the whole thing because I'm not really qualified to speak there. But there has to be some incentive of some sort. It's everything is too individualized, and I think humanity is paying the cost of that from those that have really capitalized on it, and it doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. Fucking everything is shitting itself. That's great. Amazing. Wonderful. All right, Begums, I'm going to watch markets for a little bit.
Sounds good, buddy. I'll go see what the white's doing. I'll DM you.
Yeah, it's good catching up with you, man.
That, buddy.
Talk to you later. That was Bigums, everybody. At AMC Bigums on Twitter. Go follow him. Go sub. Fondle his balls. You know, the usual. Why does it always go right when you stream, Astro? It's called selective bias. Nicotine. Why does my dick always get hard whenever Astro streams? I'm gonna blame that one on selective bias as well. How we doing, chat? How we doing? Damn, dude, you can't even read an honest question, but yet talk about someone saying about dick or deals on what the what? What does that even mean? Richard, I fucking wish I could say I was there. AMC is dumping because all the major indices are dumping. Hey, Astro, you and Matt Quarters need to do a collab. That would be awesome. Maybe. Maybe. Yo, Vindicta, how you doing? Yo, sup? How you doing, man? Yeah, everything is shitting itself right now. SPY does not look good. I don't even know how it's holding here. I'm yellowing on some SPY puts. Of course, it starts to go up when I do that. I wish my girlfriend worked like the SPY and constantly went down on me. I didn't realize you could hear me chewing. I love how you stare at the camera when you swig. What? Sorry, I just realized how loud that was. My bad. Life's too short, man. Gotta laugh or go crazy. One of the two. Yeah, amen to that. Take your pick, motherfuckers. Yep. I bought puts on SPY. Let's see this fucking thing go down. I've never been this turned on by a guy with a ponytail. Feeling like a come on bitch kind of day. I'm pretty sure SPY got rejected from the 200 MA, so let's take a look-sees. The fuck is this? Nah, Bigham's left like 10 or 15 minutes ago. There's no way this thing holds. Jose, I don't know anything about this company, so I can't really give my thoughts on it. It needs to get rejected here. Get fucking schwacked, you piece of shit. Go down. Go down. Go down. God, I hate this market so fucking much. There's no way. Unbelievable. Douglas, I've never had him before. Yo, Max, what's going on, dude? Amy feeling good. Jimbo feeling good. Sometimes I wish I never got... Yeah, me too. That J-Pow bounce, yep. Unreal. Timothy, send that one to me on Twitter. I'll take a look. I'll take a listen. Lou just said goodbye, so I guess it's hitting 300 soon. What if... Yeah, dude, I'm just amazed by that fucking idiot. Roku? I heard they were... Oh, Jesus, fuck. That looks like earnings. That looks like an earnings fucking free fall. Will the Russia invasion tank the market hard? I don't think it'll tank it. Muting is not working. We only hear the mute sound, but... Oh, wow, okay. I don't think the market will tank hard, but... It'll react in some way. I'm gonna slip my wrist with a banana. Same. My dick is a hedge against MILFs. It all ties into Archegos. Yeah, Archegos was the... Archegos was patient zero of funds being liquidated in this era of the market. There you go. My ass will crack if DOJ starts investigating Asperino. I thought about starting a class action suit against him for misinformation and what do you call it? Fucking, there's some statute that I was gonna cite that I can't remember right now, but yeah, I'm probably gonna start a class action suit against Gasparino. I have evidence that he literally used a photoshopped image to create misinformation about AMC. The fucking photo that he used like 6 months ago showing that the theaters were empty was photoshopped. Be all in with you on that, along with many others. Would you guys join in? Can we prove that he knew it was photoshopped? Good question. He claims that his friend sent it to him. Let me see if I can find it. What's his Twitter handle? Hold on, I'm scrolling way back for this. Still scrolling. Ay, ay, fucking yay. Motherfuck, where is that? Yeah, who remembers these days? Oh, fuck. I think I deleted the tweet. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Come here. Meow. Come here, you little shit. Or not. Thank you, Goosey. If you guys want to watch the stream from Twitch, everything is 10 times better quality-wise. Audio, video, chat, community, all that. Give me 1 second, chat. Okay, so this was the original tweet. And if I recall correctly, Gasparino had tweeted this from his account first and then deleted it. So let's do some anal cyst, some analysis real quick. I'll see about finding the original tweet that I had. This was all the way back on August 14th. So the thing that really stuck out to me was the way that the lighting propagates everywhere. Which chair is that? So you see how the lighting is uniform everywhere? Like there's no light space that is dynamic. Everything is lit the same. Like if you were to find like an origin light source, you'd have a light source everywhere, which is not how light works. If you look close enough, you can actually see like some of these really rough. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Like this right here is a slip up. You can also see how the light doesn't go over here, the blue light, but it does right here and here, but then just disappears. And all these seats look like they're made out of Play-Doh. And why does this seat stick down, whereas this one sticks up? Down, down. Same light source for this one and this one. Like, why is this seat bent over and this one isn't? Light source goes inconsistent. Again, you see shading right here uniformly, but then not on this one. This seat is higher than this one. You guys see what I'm talking about? Like, why does this seat also... This one is drastically lower than this one. And I actually found which theater this image was pulled from. I gotta go back and find it. But this was a photoshopped image. They took the construction image of this theater. I'm trying to remember which one it is. They took an image and went over it in Photoshop. Like, look at how detailed this is right here. Like, you can see that the material is not consistent in the lighting, let alone what the others are. You can also see, like, this is clearly Photoshopped. This is not real lighting or, like, smearing. And if you look close enough, you can literally see how this looks like someone went over it with like a digital sketch pad and shaded it. There are no cup holders in any of the arms. Yeah, that too. Even just like the way that it's not even about like the angle that it's reclined at. It's the fact that the sizes of them don't line up. Can one of the mods get this fucking idiot spamming sex cams? The curve of the seams don't match. Yeah. Like, the lighting doesn't make sense at all. Like, look at this seat. Look at this seat. Like, why is the lighting uniform across all of these? So, the original tweet was by Wall Street Cynic, which is rumored to be Gasparino's alt. And that's when Gasparino started spamming this tweet everywhere. So he's antagonizing the public with blatantly disinformative evidence or material. Yeah, no, this was the original photo was when it was under construction. I found the original photo. I have to go and pull it off my laptop. People did like a reverse image search and it said it was from like India or something. No, that's a loose match. I found the actual image at which this was pulled from. It was an old construction photo. Right, disinformation, yeah. So I think it lays grounds for a class action suit. Yeah, just one more example of I smell something bad, propaganda designed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Astro chugging Cambodian breast milk. Love to see it. Think AMC dumps to 17 today. 40, I don't think so. No, not 17. Max Payne was at 19 the last I checked. Why do you think it's lethargic? What do you mean? Why do I think what is lethargic? Oh, AMC. It's just the broader market. That's all. One implant for my wife's saggy tits. One more thing with the pick. If the screen is showing blue and purple, you would get that hue on the seats that the projector is running. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It literally looks like someone made those chairs out of Play-Doh, and the lighting just is not consistent anywhere. What is the bounce level? I'm not really sure if there is one. It's all dependent on what the rest of the main indices do. AMC and GameStop are in so many different ETFs that you see them move with those ETFs from the fact that they're in them. Has to do with the ETF fucking, it's not called borrowing, redemption, and I guess just the redemption process in general. If the underlying, it's ETF arbitrage is what it is. So if the ETF's pricing of it based on weight is greater than what the actual underlying is, you can redeem an actual share from the underlying into the ETF basket and make a profit off of it. And that goes in both directions. So you can either short and then buy it back in the ETF, or you can go long and sell it into the ETF. Gasparino also loves Nickelback. Apparently, yeah, so apparently he was tweeting about it even into November. AMC's just falling because of the rest of the market. It's institutions playing it and playing arbitrage. Damn, I remember when you had thousands watching, then months back, you and many other YT creators went down a wrong path somewhere. Look at now, your audience is now a fifth. It's just because I stopped being consistent. And I do this because I enjoy doing it, not because I make money from it. So I'll stream no matter what the viewer count. Yeah, it's profit from different markets when they write. Yeah. You should see his OnlyFans audience. Quality is better than quantity. Yep. And on top of that, it's been slow because like this is the weekly chart. So each one of these candles is a week. Ever since June, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 weeks of down. No one has considered that. Like, and just from the from half of that, all the way up from the 40s to where we are now. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 80% of the time, the weeks have closed red. So everyone's been frustrated because literally the thing that everyone cares about has not been doing well. So what do you think of trading with emotions fractal analysis? Honestly, yeah, no, he does great work. He does awesome work. It was really fucking cool to see him. Who the fuck? It was cool to see him spawn from my own work. Really smart fucking kid. Hey Jeff, how you doing, man? Actually, I wouldn't care if it was just you and I sitting around listening to Winger. I'd still be here. Hey, appreciate you, man. People like Bam make it worse, but promising. No, Bam's a good guy, man. Like people try. And trying means that you can be right or you can be wrong. But Jim has called a lot of shit. And he and I have talked for hours on the phone about everything he's learned over the decades, and he's taught me a ton. At least if you're wrong, that means you're trying. And very few people are trying nowadays. Hey, 50K, how you doing, man? Yeah, exactly, Goose. Yo, Kush, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Not bad. Got a big storm over in England. Wheelie bins gone flying down the road. Lost my trampoline. All good. Yeah, that's it's fucking unfortunate. Hey man, also if you're wrong, understand. Yeah, exactly. You have to, like, people, if someone constantly calls for stuff and have a huge loss rate on those predictions or whatever, if they're consciously not trying to improve, that's where you have every right to call them out. But all the people that I talk about and all the people that I talk with are constantly trying to improve. If they get something wrong, they go and hammer themselves about why and where they went wrong. And they don't let their teeth out of it. And that's what I do. Question was watching Rogan and Maynard. Last interview talked about Fibonacci. Yeah, it is. Yeah. The thing about Fibonacci is that it's a ratio that is within the universe. Like anything that is built in the universe or on top of it inherits Fibonacci. That's why you find it everywhere. It's a particular sequence of numbers that are they're a template of the universe. So no matter what it is, if it's within the universe, which everything that, you know, we can see and touch is, then yes, it has Fibonacci inside of it. It's literally a cookie cutter of matter. It's a cookie cutter of existence. Amazon Twitter talking shit about John Hollowatch when he's been wrong plenty. Used to appreciate his effort. Yeah, it makes me sad. Like I hate seeing people go after each other like that because I love and respect Jim and John greatly. But not everyone's gonna see eye to eye. Yeah, Daniel, how you doing, man? Look at that organic price movement. Yep. Yep. I like to think of Fibonacci as being a detailed sequence showing and mapping aspects of bifurcation and chaos. Yeah, pretty much. Bam attacking John last night. Yeah, no, that's what sucks. Like, there's nothing you can do about it because I love and respect both of these men, but they will probably never see eye to eye with each other, and that's just something that has to be accepted. I think of Fibonacci as a flamboyant Italian cello player. With all the investigations, I still feel helpless. Fuck, seeing this BS. Yeah, no, it's frustrating, man. Trust me, I know. I know. Shit sucks. Apes calling out others as shills is eerily similar to everyone in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, the Red Scare, yeah. I've talked about this a lot. There's so many fucking parallels in history that very few realize. It's the same as the Red Scare. It's the same as fucking the Salem witch trials. It's the same as the fucking Crusades.
I found this on the web.
Fuck off, Siri. What the fuck? Filled the gap, yeah. Yep. All right, y'all. The market's looking red today. I'm going to hop off. I don't want to look at this shit. You don't want to look at this shit. It is what it is. We're going to let this shit fly by, come back Monday, and see how it goes. Currently, we're down fucking 6%. Feels fucking good. And SPY is down 0.3%. So, I'm going to go fuck off for a bit because this shit's depressing. Appreciate y'all. Follow me on Twitter at ThatGuyAstro. Don't fucking watch